Hey, Natalie, how's it going today? You've had a long day.
I've had a long day. Yeah.
Well, it's good. It's good because you're talking about a great crime series that you put together. This documentary. Okay, I gotta ask you because it fascinates me. I was around when this all happened, and 50 years later, like still unsolved, Durham's oldest unsolved murder. What was it all these years later where you thought I gotta revisit this?
The project was actually brought to me. It had been in development for some years, and this story has been waiting to be told in this way for 50 years, but it could
Wow.
only be told now because of the recent developments in the last 10 years or so. And we've hit a point at the trajectory of this story where enough things have happened that there's a real urgency to get the full story out there. So when the project was brought to me, I jumped at the opportunity because of its richness and complexity, its controversial nature, and the challenge to do something different with true crime.
Yeah, I mean, what is it about true crime these days that everybody is listening to podcasts, docs, like movies, all this stuff? What do you think the fascination is with this topic?
I think people are drawn to extremes. They get something from human life experiences that are extraordinary.
Yeah.
The risk with these types of stories, though, is that they become sensationalist and voyeuristic, insensitive, and that was one of the deepest goals that we had with this series, was actually to treat this with some elegance and poetry and metaphor and compassion for all of the real people that you'll meet in the series. We wanted to live in a world of art while looking at the tragedy of what happened to Beverly Smith, but also looking at the 5 decades since with a lens that was inspiring to people, because as much as there's a lot of sadness here, there is resilience and courage too.
Yeah, for sure. What was it like for you, Natalie, to go back and approach people who, were close to Beverly, and kind of rehash this with them, like maybe they closed the book, or you know what I'm saying? Like you're we're opening old wounds again. What is that like for you as a filmmaker to like have to approach these people?
Well, a lot of that had been done by the time I started the project. But what I noticed about building relationships with these people is that they have been eager to tell their point of view in this way, because this story, although it has been covered by the media in various ways, there's a book that's been written, there are media articles over the years, but it has never been treated like this. And so they knew that they had the platform to be able to tell their story in a different way. And so there was great participation that we got from most people who were approached. And it's a storyteller's gift, this one, and a great responsibility too.
What ultimately was the biggest challenge? Was there too much material to go through as a documentarian? You got a plethora of stuff to go through, right? 50 years worth here.
Exactly. There's 50 years worth of material. There's 50 years worth of pain, of lived experiences. I think finding the right voice for the series, the creative voice, but also the editorial voice, to be able to do justice to all sides of this story, because it's controversial. We look at the use or misuse of powers by the police. We look at the unrelenting grief of losing a loved one. We look at anger, friendship, betrayal, fear, vulnerability. So very charged environment, and with a lot of facts to consider, but also so much story that we had to make some tough decisions to be able to create this nuanced and powerful viewing experience for people.
Yeah. So ultimately, what would you like people to get after watching this? Like, it's interesting, the whole series.
I would invite viewers at the end of it all to ask themselves some serious questions. What is right? What is justified? How far should we be allowed to go in the name of justice? And how far would you want the police to go if it was your loved one who was murdered?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, congratulations to you. Best of luck with this. I can't wait for people to be able to, watch this. I just finished watching the thing about Pam last night, and I was like literally yelling at my TV. Like I was so engrossed in this. So this story, especially being, from Toronto, it's so too close to home, unfortunately. But I hope people get a lot from it. So thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate this.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Okay, take care. Have a good night. Go put your feet up, okay?
Thank you. Will do.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Go out for dinner. See you later.
Bye.